2, 1. Andy, you are live.
Welcome to the best sports betting show on the planet. This is WagerTalk Today. I am your host, Andy Lang. It's $5 Tuesday. We've got a loaded lineup. MLB All-Star Game. We're going to talk a little WNBA, and we've got some free plays for the Open Championship this week. So whether you're looking for today or looking for this weekend, we got you covered. Gianni's going to join us. See if we got any Steam report to talk about. Skee Profit's going to join us for the Fever and the Sun breakdown. Steve Merrill's going to break down the MLB All-Star Game. And buckle up, boys and girls. Dan and I are going to break down the New York Football Giants season win total over or under 5.5 wins. You're not going to want to miss that. So let's get started. Hit that like button. Subscribe to the channel. We're like a few people away from 210,000 subscribers. Like, we're literally right there. So subscribe to the channel and help us out. Let's bring in Gianni. Let's see if there's any type of Steam report for this morning. Happy $5 Tuesday, Gianni. How are you today?
My man, on fire, man. We've been busy this morning. I hope you guys went over and checked out that free play yesterday. Plus 150, easy winner. If you look at my free picks page right now, I've given the last 9 free plays I've given. I've hit 6 of them with a plus 200 winner, plus 150 winner, and another plus 150 winner. Take advantage of that free information. I've released 3 Summer League bets to subscribers today, including a 4% best bet. So there's 3 Summer League plays. I'm sure one of them is up for free on my page right now. I bet a tennis play where we double hit it. We bet it on the money line and bet it minus 2.5 games. And we even fired a golf matchup today. So a lot of action. I love it. Even though it seems like it's the All-Star break, hitting these other markets is what I get excited about because those usually do very well, very well.
Awesome. Well, what is the do we got any big moves here? I'm guessing Summer League, possibly WNBA.
Yeah, so far WNBA, the only move, and I didn't release to subscribers just because the line moved a little bit too much for me. I liked Indiana up to minus 15. Now it's pretty much 16 across the board, 16 and a half, even in some of the sharper outs. So I passed on Indiana in WNBA over Connecticut, but that's a sharp side. In Summer League, Philadelphia at plus 4 all the way down to plus 3. That took a lot of sharp money. And I'll go ahead and give you Oklahoma City under as well. My subscribers got down at under 179 and 178. It's now probably below that. So up to you on your risk tolerance. But there's another free one for you under in the Oklahoma City and Orlando. And only one bet I have for the All-Star Game so far. That's up for $5. It's available for you guys. And if anything else comes in, like a prop or something, I'm just going to add it there for free in that All-Star Game pick pass that's up for you. So hopefully we keep doing some damage, baby.
All right. Did you watch the Home Run Derby last night, Gianni?
No, I didn't get a chance. Was it good?
Well, the highlight was, you know how they put kids in the outfield to catch the balls?
Yeah.
And a kid robbed a home run. It was an amazing catch. Like, dude went over the wall and caught it in the batter.
That's awesome.
The batter was mad, so they ruled it a home run.
I love it.
Like, people were mad, and it was like, you're telling me you put a kid with a glove out in the outfield in a home run derby, and he's not going to go for the catch of his life?
Yeah, he's taking that one down. Can't blame him.
It was the best. The big fade of the night was Jazz Chisholm. His stepdad was throwing him pitches, and it was pretty laughable. So yeah, it was entertaining. It was a good event. I think they did pretty good. So we got golf, we got tennis, we got a lot of stuff going on this week. Someone wanted me to ask you right after you left yesterday, when you're referring to off screen and on screen markets. Can you just explain what you mean when you say that?
Yeah, on screen are those books that are readily available to anyone. Pretty much, the DraftKings, the FanDuels, the MGMs, the Caesars, the books that are on the screen. When you log into any odds screen or free odds page, just go over to WagerTalk. You'll see what I'm talking about. Off screen are those books that more or less are bookies. A lot of times they're skins of those bigger books just with a different name. But it all goes to the same place. But you're dealing more with bookmakers than with companies. 90+% is all credit. Where you don't have to post up, which is how most of the betting syndicates work. Like, they're not going to tie up that kind of money in non-interest bearing accounts. You got to remember, if you're moving on a Saturday college football, there's been times I bet 70 bets for them. Sides, totals, first half, second halves. So on a Saturday of 70 bets, and let's say your average bet is $3,000 a bet, you're betting $250,000, $2 million, whatever the hell you're betting. You can't leave that sitting in a non-interest bearing account. What are you going to have 10 accounts for, $20 million laying out there, not getting you interest? Nobody with that kind of money is going to be foolish enough to do that. So you work with credit outs, and those primarily are off screen. Now, there are on-screen outs that do extend credit to guys that have established that kind of relationship. But for the most part, credit comes from bookies, from that local pizza shop, the guy that's the bookmaker in the neighborhood. So those are the off-screen outs, and those are usually what gets bet, the sharpest stuff, because it doesn't make it on the screen. See, the problem is, like right now, I have a Pinnacle account. I just have to log into my VPN. I log into Pinnacle and even a skin of Pinnacle that I have, and I could place a bet. The problem is my account's labeled as sharp. So as soon as I bet, even a small bet, a $300 MMA bet, they're going to move the line. When Pinnacle moves the line, any book that is looking at the odds screen is going to move the line with Pinnacle so that they don't get hit at that weaker number. All on screen, that's what happens over and over and over again. So the goal of the betting syndicate is to get as much money down as possible. To do that, you want to go off screen first so that no one's able to just copy and paste that line where they're moving it without having booked the bet. So that's the difference between on screen and off screen. A lot of times that's where the disconnect comes on social media, where you see guys are like, oh, that's steam. Team A got steamed all the way up to, -5 from -3. But then I'm looking in the account, and all I'm seeing off screen is they're not betting Team A. They're actually taking Team B at +5 off screen. So that's where you see a lot of the manipulation with on screen and off screen. If you can move the line on screen, then you're getting a better number to bury bookies with off screen. So that's pretty much how that works.
Love it. Love it. It's $5 Tuesday. What do you have up for clients at WagerTalk?
Yeah, we got that All-Star Game. Like I said, Indiana, the line moved. I was going to use Indiana coming off a 4% winner in WNBA, but we don't take bad numbers. Got to bet from position of strength. So instead, I went with the All-Star bet, which we already put in yesterday. And like I said, any props get added, anything else gets added, I will add it to that $5 package. Right now, there is a bet in there. I also have my UFC 318 package with a 5% as well. And subscribers should have golf play, tennis plays, and summer league plays as well today. So we got action.
I love it. Real quick before I let you go, we're not financial advisors, but I just want to get your take on Bitcoin and that gigantic, huge move, and now a little bit of a pullback on Bitcoin. So
nothing goes up in a straight line. We know that. The one thing you don't want to do is be the guy buying at the top, and I think that's where most retail investors make the mistake. They FOMO in, and then what happens is when it's just like betting sports. If you take a bad number, you put yourself in a tough position. Like you see Bitcoin going up and it was sitting around that, 110 range. All of a sudden it shoots to 117, 118, 119, 120. You're like, oh my God, everyone on social media is saying this is going to $250,000 by the end of the year. I better buy now. So you go in, you buy at 120. Now you wake up the next morning, it's down to 118, 117, 115. You got decisions to make. What happens when it drops down to 105, 100? Now you're down 20% on your money, 20+% on your money. You got decisions to make. But if you are buying near bottoms, you don't have that problem. If your average buy on Bitcoin is even at 80,000, 90,000, which you had all of the fall and all of the spring to buy below 100,000, then you're not sweating now. Big deal. All you did is lose some of your paper gains that were just on paper anyway. You didn't really lose money out of your pocket because you had no intentions of selling anyway. So you don't want to be buying these tops, man. You got to slow it down, especially when you see where the dominance level is. Again, I'm pro crypto. I've always been pro crypto for a very long time, but these things take time. We have to still see how is it going to respond if there's a recession. How is it going to prove to be a hedge, an inflation hedge, or is it just going to prove to be another ETF, another technology stock? So again, I'm high on crypto, but you got to slow your roll. You don't want to be more than, again, if you're young, maybe have 25% of your portfolio in crypto. If you're older like myself, you don't want to be more than 10% in crypto. Again, I love what it's doing. I don't think you're too late, but you have to have at least a 5 to 10 year outlook. If you don't have a 5 to 10 year outlook, then you're a trader. And if you're a trader, this isn't the time to be trading Bitcoin. You probably want to be shorting Bitcoin after it reached that new all-time high.
Well, I had to laugh. One of my books that is all crypto, Gianni, I made a withdrawal 10 days ago and they held it. And of course, guess when they released it, when Bitcoin
of course
when it hit 121.
Of course.
Yeah, thanks a lot. They did that on purpose.
Just tuck it away. Just tuck it away. Forget it exists. Look back in 2030. It'll be worth more.
I know. All right, $5 Tuesday. Take advantage, Gianni. Thank you so much. Happy Tuesday. Let's continue the big week. So, what are the best sites to pay for in terms of real time live movement? Odds Logic. That's the big standard right now. Odds Logic. Go check that out. You can use the WagerTalk live odds page, but for the best and like the most books, it's got everything. Use Odds Logic. I had Kaniska, when is Skee coming on? The answer is when he logs on, when he logs in. That's
literally what I was going to type, Andy. I was literally going to say whenever Skee logs on, it's me and Andy until somebody else logs on. So
absolutely.
To be fair, Andy, the two. Oh, sorry about that. So the two people that we have on today are Skee and Steve Merril. So yes. we could never know when these two would log on. So we'll see Skee when we see him, and Steve we'll see him 10 minutes after we expect to see him. So
yes, we got a special all around the world segment. It's all 3 plays for the Open Championship. We'll do that, but it is $5 Tuesday. Every capper has a play up for just $5. Grab as many as you want. There's no limits. My personal 5% play, locked and loaded for the Open Championship, and I love it. Never had a losing season in golf. Grab that $5 play for the Open Championship and grab as many as you want. Don't miss this chance to stack your betting lineup with today's plays, tonight's plays, this weekend. $5 Tuesday is live. We want you to get as many as possible, but we want you to bet responsibly. So get in, cash out. Don't have all your bankroll tied up in these plays, but it's such a great way to just try out different handicappers or follow your favorite handicapper for only $5. So, like I said, mine's on the Open Championship. I would get that one and lock it in. Speaking of the Open Championship, let's do all around the world Open Championship edition. These are 3 plays that you should look at for the Open Championship. First, we'll go with Brooks Koepka, plus 110. Will miss the cut. He's missed the cut in 2 out of 3 majors this season. 43rd, 64th missed cut last 3 Open Championships. And he was 32nd last week at the Live event in Spain. Not good. Victor Hovland over Colin Morikawa at minus 115. I was worried about Hovland's neck injury. He played last week at the Scottish Open, finished 11th. He looks healthy. Morikawa is a disaster right now. Shot plus 4 last week, missed the cut. He cannot putt. He's firing caddies. Mentally, he's not there. He's a fade. We'll fade him with Victor Hovland. And finally, our boy, Harry Hall, top 40. Again, we're going to play him. He cashed easy last week, finishing 17th at the Scottish Open. 8 straight top 40 finishes, 21st in the field in total strokes gained. So Brooks Koepka missed the cut. Hovland over Morikawa. Harry Hall, top 40. And don't forget to get that $5 best bet over at WagerTalk.com. All right, those are your free plays there. Yeah, Open Championship, very, very bettable major. There's a lot of good course history here, and I love Open Championship because they tee off at like 3 a.m. My time, so it's all kinds of weirdness going on there. So, Dan, you want to do the Giants now? Let's do.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Yeah, let's just talk Giants because, dear God, Andy, there's a lot to be said for the Giants here, but there's also not much to be said for the Giants. So yeah, let's talk some Giants season.
All right, Giants season win total, 5.5 wins. You guys did great yesterday. Post in the comments. We're going to pick a winner. Let's do it again today. Post your WagerTalk username in the comment section and tell us whether you like the over or the under on the Giants, and you get 3 free days of a flex pass. So again, tell us in the comment section, not the live chat, the comment section after the show. Do you like the Giants over or under 5.5 wins? Post your WagerTalk username. We're going to pick a random winner, get 3 free days of a flex pass. All right, Dan. PFF ranked the offense 29th and the defense 20th last year, and it doesn't get much better this year. They have them ranked 28th on the offensive line. This is the worst team with the worst percentage to win their division in the league. The Browns have a slightly better chance to win their division, according to PFF. Off-season moves. You want to talk 3 years, $54 million on a cornerback who's coming off a broken femur. Nothing can go wrong there. So that's a real signing. 3 years, $54 million. A lot of defensive pieces here and there. D-line, linebacker, secondary. Their quarterback situation is Russell Wilson, Jameis Winston, Tommy DeVito, and Jackson Dart. I'm getting a headache just thinking about that. I can't imagine my poor New York Giants fans. And then. Yeah, Slow Jams already has it pegged in the chat. Under, tough schedule. Yes, Slow Jams, you are right. Let's go over this brutal schedule. At Commanders, at Cowboys, Chiefs, Chargers to start the season, Dan. At Saints, home Eagles, at Broncos, at Eagles, 49ers, at Bears, Packers, at Lions, at Patriots, Commanders, Vikings, at Raiders, Cowboys. I'll cut to the chase. Under, and this is my most confident play that we've done. This will be a client play.
Yeah, I could see why you would load this one for clients for sure. I mean, here's the thing, Andy, is you laid out that schedule, and from preseason strength of schedule, you're looking at the number one hardest schedule in the NFL. So, this would be a tough schedule for the Chiefs. This would be a tough schedule for the Bills. You know what I mean? And it's a team who last year they go 0-6 in division. Our friend Sean Michael, he always likes to, chirp us when we have bad takes. Giants finishing with more wins than the Eagles. That's quite the take. And he points out 15 years since an NFC East team has repeated. You got to update your stats there, Sean. It's been 2 decades since the Eagles did it in 2004. No team has won the NFC East since the Eagles did it in back-to-back years when they were dominating the NFC East there. So, hey, if you're going to come at the king, you best not miss there, Sean. But I'm with you here, Andy, and that's that. 3-14 last year with these quarterbacks. Honestly, my favorite out of the lot is Jameis Winston. Yeah, you're going to throw interceptions, but he's going to be the guy who at least gives you the best chance to win simply because he'll be fearless. Russell Wilson, you saw, did he add much to the Steelers last year? There were those couple games where it was, oh my God, look at how much better the offense is. And then Father Time continues catching up with Russell Wilson. So, yes, things were addressed in the offseason. For what it's worth, too, we always like continuity going year by year. But, Andy, for me, the number one thing is that the Giants, they just are facing off against such a tough schedule, and I don't see much to be excited about for this team. So, sure, the continuity's there. Dable, you got to start feeling like that seat's starting to get a little bit of hot. So does pressure make diamonds, or does pressure end up with maybe some PP down the leg of the Giants? I'm not sure where it'll be, but I know they won't have as many wins as the Philadelphia Eagles, and I don't know if they get to 6 wins, Andy. I'm with you. Give me the under on the New York Football Giants.
Yeah, easiest handicap. I mean, this is so everything. It checks every box. I generally only play unders on season wins and on player props because any injury takes you out of it. So I'm always looking for an under, and this is just the perfect one. So Giants, easy under for myself and Dan.
Even though I wore the Giants colors. Do you like how I've been theming my hats with the teams we've been talking about? I don't know if you picked up on it. Yeah, even with the Giants colors. Under for me as well, Andy.
All right. Post in the comments section after the show. Do you like the Giants over under? Put your WagerTalk username, and we'll pick someone to win 3 free days for a Flex Pass. Don't forget to hit the like button, guys. Almost to 210,000 subscribers. Subscribe to the channel so you can see breakdown videos from people like Steve Merril. Let's bring on Steve Merril, and we're going to talk MLB All-Star Game. Steve, did you watch the Home Run Derby last night?
It's funny. I remembered it was on. I didn't have anything the last couple of years. They keep changing the format, so I really don't handicap it like I used to. And did mean to turn it on, then turned it on late, and then saw the whole replay. And I was thinking, this is the way to go. Just watch the recap on like Sports Center for 5 minutes. But that was really cool to see the Raleigh triple play battery connection. And I meant to look this up, Andy. What is the background of the father? I mean, he was zipping those things in there pretty damn good. He's obviously been a coach or something at some point, if still not.
They said he'd been pitching to him since he was 9. So, like, that was a real thing. I faded Jazz Chisholm. My buddy found a quote where he said he was just going to go out there and have fun. And he's like, it's going to be fun. I brought my stepfather on to pitch. And I was like, all right, I'm all in on the under.
That's good info.
And it wasn't even close. Wasn't even close to go. It was 17.5. I think he had like 5 or 6. But yeah, I thought they did a good job with it. I thought it flowed nice. I thought the timing of it was pretty good. I do kind of like this format. I like how in the first round, you can't take pitches in the first part of it. You only get a certain amount of pitches in its time. So I think they've done a really, really good job with it.
Yeah, I'll tell you what I didn't like, Andy, were the damn jerseys. Those were horrendous. In fact, when I was watching the recap, I honestly thought this until I saw the other hitters hit. I thought it said Cal, which was even worse. I thought they put their damn names on the jersey because I saw the post-game interview. He's turned. I see the AL. And my first reaction was like, that is awful. They put Cal, they're putting first names. And then I realized it was NLAL, which was even worse because it looked like which I love the Montreal Expo logo, but it looked like a bastardized version of the ME from but cool information tonight. Since 2019, it's the first time they're going to apparently be wearing their team uniforms, which I love because I grew up watching the All-Star Game in the 80s and the 90s. I used to keep score, which is a lost art. I would sit there, it's on network TV, backing it up, replay to catch up. And I used to love to see all the different uniforms out there. They're apparently going to wear an all-star hat. I wish they would just wear their team hats. But I love that they're going back to the uniforms. I thought that was one of the worst decisions in the history of sports to make them wear like all-star uniforms with a little logo. So good news. They won't be as bad as last night's uniforms.
Well, let's talk this MLB All-Star Game out. Looking at the numbers, I believe the National League is a very slight favorite. Looks like the over-under is 7. How do you go about breaking down the All-Star Game?
There's a lot of randomness here. The one thing, though, is as random as it seems to be over the years, it amazes me, Andy, how trendy it's been for decades. We saw that National League run really started in the early 70s and went through pretty much till the mid 80s, in which they just went on a monster tear. In fact, if you look back, I believe it was actually in the 60s and 70s, the National League just dominated. And then we saw the American League dominance right after that in the early 2000s, especially. And the American League's been dominating again. I'll count it right here. I've got the results: 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 of the last 11. Now, the National League did break the 9-game win streak 2 years ago with a 3-2 win at T-Mobile Park. Last year, American League got back on track 5-3. Look, the total's set at 7. It's a really low total, but for good reason. These have been very pitcher-friendly games here over the past decade or so. And in fact, if you take out the bastardized steroid home run era of the late 90s, early 2000s, we really have seen, in the most part, for 2 decades now, low-scoring all-star games. And to get to 8 or 9 runs has been unusual. In fact, last year, the 8 runs was unusual. There was exactly 3-2 finals each of the years before that. 7 runs the 2 years before that. They did have a high-scoring game in 2018, went to extra innings. But even in 2017, the extra inning game had only 3 runs, 6 runs before that. So single-digit runs is the norm. Obviously, to win this, you got to get to 6 or less. Not a lot of value left here. Maybe we look at the first 5 inning under 3.5, and that would probably be my preferred play on the total. Skeens and Skubal have been the 2 best pitchers in baseball. We don't always get the best pitchers starting due to the rotations, who's available. We have the case this year where we have the 2 most dominant pitchers in baseball, and Skubal's coming off actually a bad effort last week against the Mariners. So we don't say this often, but it's a bounce-back spot for the best pitcher in baseball tonight as well. So I look for the first inning, scoreless first innings. You can play maybe no-run first inning, first 5 inning under 3.5. these guys aren't going to probably go 3 innings each. That's what they used to do in my youth when I was keeping score. But I think they probably go a couple innings. And then there's so many good relief pitchers. And yes, the National League and American Leagues play each other every year now. But I don't think that both the two lineups are going to be too familiar with Schoolboy, especially Skeens, who's only been in the league for a couple years. I look for a low-scoring start to this game. Low-scoring game overall, but especially the first inning, no run, and first 5 inning under 3.5 would probably be my preferred way to attack it.
Love it. Love it. It's $5 Tuesday. Do you have your prop?
I'm actually going to have my first football play of the season loaded. We're going to get that up right after the show for $5 Tuesday. And I believe we can keep it up for a while, but I recommend getting in now because I do think the lines will move. And this is a play I like a lot. So once again, haven't talked a lot of football. We've talked a little football, haven't posted any football, but I will be releasing my first football selection for this upcoming season as the $5 Tuesday special. So that's an instant 80% discount. But more importantly, Andy, a couple great special offers on the page right now. The rest of the baseball season for less than $3.50 a day. We put that up last week. It is good through the All-Star break this week. But an even better offer is the rest of the baseball season for just $99, because when you get my football early bird right now, which is a substantial discounted price. Now, college football, $600, NFL, $600. Get them both for just $777. And you can add the rest of baseball the next 3.5 months for just $99. So some great offers right now on my page, Steve Merril, WagerTalk.com. And, of course, you can get there quicker with shortcut wt.buzz/SM.
I meant your prop. Your
Andy, come on now. Everybody knows it's $5 Tuesday. I thought maybe you thought I had a prop for the All-Star Game since I kind of gave away the total there. So that's why I ignored you.
No,
yeah, I wasn't looking. I've got you so. And look, never minimize Andy Lang. This is a faux pas, but I've got him in a corny little Andy in the corner minimized. Two things you should never do to Andy Lang is minimize him or put him in the corner. And I did both. So I've got my big screen. I was looking over. I got Wikipedia open, high-level database for the All-Star Game here. My Wikipedia history, and that's what I was looking at here for the past games. It's interesting, Andy. You're the prop master, and I'd be curious to get your take on this. I don't find as much value. I used to love the NFL Pro Bowl back 20 years ago in the 2000s. I had plays on that all the time. We get Peyton Manning at quarterback, find some real edges. The NBA All-Star Game had strong best bets on that for a decade straight. The Rising Stars game, we played sophomores over rookies for a few years till they caught on to that. But obviously the NFL Pro Bowl is gone. NBA All-Star Game, I think, is pretty much impossible nowadays. Major League Baseball is the last true game. And when they gave, some home field advantage for the winner of the All-Star Game for the World Series, maybe gave it some relevance. But I feel like this is the one game where you kind of get a little bit of a handicap edge still. Do you find value in any of these anymore?
NBA All-Star Game, you bet Luka and Joker under their points. They don't care. They're open that they don't care. They play a few minutes here or there, so you take them under their points as long as you get a good total.
The heavy-set guys you play under in the NBA All-Star Game is what you're saying. The heavy-set foreigners. That makes a lot of sense.
Yeah. They're pretty open about it. So, I mean, I think Joker was the last pick. It's like the best player in the league. He's the last
reigning
pick.
MVP is the last pick.
Yes. So, no, I won't bet on the MLB All-Star Game. I don't know how they're going to play. I don't know how long they're going to play. It's kind of a stay away. I got UFC this week. I got a big golf tournament. We got a plus 350 lacrosse future that's up. So, for me, props, no, not in the MLB All-Star.
And one thing I want to mention real quick, you just touched on something I meant to mention with the first 5 inning versus the full game. You talked about Jokic, the last pick. Keep in mind, the best hitters are not necessarily the starters in either lineup because they're fan voted still. Whereas we do have the 2 best pitchers in baseball, which we don't often get. It's been a while since we've had the 2 best pitchers as a starter. You don't necessarily have the best hitters for each team coming up the first few innings for that reason. So that was another reason I was leaning towards the first 5 under maybe instead of the full game.
Okay. I love it. All right, Steve Merril, get that $5 play. It's damn near football season, Steve. It is damn near football
you could buy a coffee and a half right now, or you could have a football wager locked in for the next several months.
Or 2 disgusting coffees.
Sip on that every day.
Route. Get 2 disgusting. Thank you, Steve.
Thanks, Andy.
Enjoy the game. Enjoy the game tonight, and can't wait to talk to you again later. All right. Skee must be having some internet problems. We're going to do the Fever and the Sun. I got a couple tidbits on this game. I do want to mention, and Dan, I don't know. Dan, have you ever done a fast before?
Yeah, Yep, I have. That's actually when Andy, full disclosure, when I used to play offensive line back in the day and defensive line, I was a bigger boy. I was around 310.
This blows my mind that you were 300 plus pounds.
Yeah, around like 300 pounds. So my big transition, I was like, dude, if I don't see results immediately, I'm not going to be able to diet and lose this weight. So that was my big thing. I did fasting and I did, working out, and pairing those two together. So you're not working out when you're during the fast. So you're just, killing yourself. But yeah, I'm a huge proponent of doing fasting. I think it's great for your heart. It's great for, a lot of different benefits for your body. And if you're looking to lose weight, really, like, everyone asks, like, what's the secret to dieting? Like, really, number one is eat less. Eat less. You know what I mean? Like, that's number one. And portion control is always my problem. So when you fast, it allows you to maybe gorge yourself a little bit more when you're breaking the fast. So I'm a huge fan of it. Why do you ask, Bill?
Because a week from today, we're going to do a fast. I'm going to do fast. I mentioned this on the UFC show, and I was stunned. A lot of people said a lot of people said, oh, I haven't done one, or yeah, I'd love to do one. So a week from today, we're going to do one. Johnny Detroit is going to do it. I've already talked to him. If you want to do one with me, if you're out there, if you've never done one, we invite you to try it. Check with your doctor. If it's right for you, Google it, look for it, but you can get ready. I want to do 2 days minimum. I'll shoot for 3. I've done a 3-day before, but I would say if you've
just
never
not
done
eating at all.
Yeah. Water, black coffee, tea, and electrolytes. This is the key.
I don't know if I can go 2 days without eating.
The electrolytes are the keys. Get electrolytes.
I'll cheer you on, Andy.
Tablets. Okay. All right. So, yeah. So if you've never done one and want to try it, I recommend try it for a day. Try and do 24 hours. You'll be amazed at how good you actually feel for it. So, all right, Dan, let's do Fever and the Sun here. We got. Yeah, Gianni went over this line move. It's just blasted way past this 15 number. So the Fever and the Sun, we got a 16-point favorite, which is just crazy. But the Connecticut Sun are truly terrible. They have 3 wins this season. Believe it or not, one of them is against this Indiana Fever team. Over under sits at 165.5. I do have some good props for you in this game. I'll start with Caitlin Clark over her assists and under her made 3-pointers. She is still hurt. She is not 100%. You can just watch her laboring. Her shots are coming up short. They're not accurate. They still have her 3-point number at 2.5. I would play the under. She's gone 6 games in a row with 2 or fewer made threes. And what's happening is now she's passing the ball a lot. They have her assist number at 8.5. She's had 13 and 9 the last 2 games, and that's 5 out of the last 6 games that she's gone over her assists. So Caitlin Clark under threes, over assists. I'd look at Aaliyah Boston over her points. As for the game, there's not much you can do with a 16-point favorite. I would take a look at this over on the total here. The Indiana Fever have been in some shootouts the last 2 games. 102-83 in their last game against Dallas, 99-82 in their last game against Atlanta. And Connecticut Sun, their offense kind of came alive against the Los Angeles Sparks on Sunday. They scored 88 points, but they also gave up 92. They've been in some big shootouts. So I'm looking for a big game from the offenses tonight. So I would look at the over 165.5. But again, I like the player props a little bit better. Caitlin Clark over assist is probably my favorite. Sprinkle on the under, sprinkle on Boston over points, and then we'll take a look at the over. So that's your breakdown on the Fever and the Sun. That's going to do it for us for $5 Tuesday episode of Wager Talk Today. Thank you so much for joining us. Again, post in the comments section your opinion on the Giants over or under 5.5. Dan, I'm going to go out on a limb and say we're going to have a lot of unders in the comments.
Except
section.
Sean. Except our friend Sean. He's the only one.
Go over. But I'm guessing under is going to appear quite a bit in the comment section. But don't forget to post that and your Wager Talk username. We'll give you 3 days worth of flex passes. So take advantage of $5 Tuesday. My Open Championship best bet is up. Never had a losing season in golf since joining Wager Talk, and looking forward to a big week. Thank you so much for joining us. Make sure you bet responsibly. Good luck on your plays tonight, and we'll see everyone